future pixels in factories far away. Still more new music, my friends, from the latest album by Gorillaz. It's called Plastic Beach. It just keeps growing on me. I think it is a very of the time record in the themes and memes that it discusses. So there it is. And here we are. Welcome wherever you are, however you are, whenever you are in the world. This is the 179th episode of Media Monarchy. My name's James Evan Pilato. I'm your host and webmaster of the site and show, MediaMonarchy.com, as well as CyberspaceWar.com, FoodWorldOrder.com, and now NewWorldNextWeek.com, the feed for the high-quality videos that I do every week with CorbettReport.com, spreading out all through the alternative media. And we are live, as always, every Friday morning at 10 a.m. Pacific time here in Portland, Oregon, on the Portland Radio Authority, PRAradio.org, and a huge thanks to the stations that rebroadcast Media Monarchy, especially our live affiliates, ZeroPointRadio.com, blasting out live worldwide, as well as in Casper, Wyoming, on 92.3 FM and 1670 AM, as well as the worldwide home of free speech down in Florida, blasting worldwide, RevereRadio.net. And as always, thanks to 98.5 FM in Olympia, Washington, Free Radio Olympia, FROlympia.org, BerkeleyLiberationRadio.net, 104.1 FM in Berkeley, California, 90.7 FM KWMD in Kasilof, Alaska, thanks to OneSkyRadio.com, and all the others. I appreciate it. And again, get the episodes, replay them. You don't have to ask. Spread the information. Information wants to be free. It's all open source intelligence. It's all fair use. It's all for the taking and giving and sharing. Radio23.org supplies the high-quality versions of Media Monarchy. So if you are replaying the show or want to spread it, the higher quality sounds a little better. And you can, of course, get in touch, make contact, spread the word, make connections. Facebook.com/Media Monarchy as well. All the others with Media Monarchy as either the username or the keyword or the .com/Media Monarchy. Facebook, MySpace, Twitter, YouTube, Ustream.tv/Media Monarchy, Blip, Cafe Press, Gmail, Skype, Instant Messenger, iTunes, RadioForAll.net, Archive.org. Huge thanks to all the folks who do send news tips and get in touch with me on trying to help run this monarchy, one-man band kingdom. So I apologize to the folks that I don't get back to. I can't get back to everybody, but all the feedback, all the contacts are appreciated. And again, I haven't forgotten them. I'm lining them up. So when we can start to move ahead on some of these things, whether that's graphic design or banners or buttons or web work or anything to help MediaMonarchy.com grow, again, you can also donate. You can see the PayPal button there. $10 donation gets you the exclusive DVD from Richard Grove and TragedyandHope.com. It's called 2020 Hindsight, Censorship on the Front Line, fully explaining what we see going on all around us. And we always like to look at the breaking news as we come to you on this 23 of July, 2010. Oil rig alarm was not fully turned on, worker says. This story bubbling up, if you will. Emergency alarm on the Deepwater Horizon was not fully activated on the day the oil rig caught fire and exploded, triggering the utter catastrophe we have around us right now. 7 banks fail Europe's stress test. That would be Trichet's of the European Central Bank. Again, a new financial world order is being set up as they perform a controlled demolition of the economy that's built on fiat currency and zeros and ones and derivatives. They've bought up the resources and sell us back the simulation, the fake, the simulacra, if I'm using that correctly, with apologies to Baudrillard. North Korea makes a threat on eve of military drills. We say this time and time again, every element is really connected, and every element, as it seems things are accelerating at an unreasonable pace, everything seems to be a powder keg. War games, stress tests, and alarms not being fully turned on. Now, as we go through all this news on this massive episode 179 of Media Monarchy, we, of course, are going to refer to some of these things we've mentioned. And again, ultimately, that's the mission statement. It's open source. It's fair use. We share this information while we still have a free and open web. We were discussing on the previous episode, 178B, of course, all the threataganda, all the talk about a cyber 9/11, an I-9/11, which, of course, they'll be more than ready to shove an I-Patriot Act down our throats. So as long as we have all these tools and bells and whistles and tweets and so on and so forth, let's use them in the most effective way I think that we can. And yes, we can still have fun, and we can do all the other things. But it's going to come back more to your community. And we talked about community food. We talked about competing currencies. All these things are the themes and memes and in the zeitgeist that surrounds us, that we're soaking in it, if you will. But let's cut the chit-chat and get to our number one story of the week. We did cover this on the latest episode from newworldnextweek.com. Oakland marijuana law passes. Pot factories coming to the Bay Area. This from San Francisco Weekly, but we've got more links to the Mercury News and the New York Daily News and all around the world. The Oakland City Council approved an ordinance allowing industrial-scale marijuana growing operations to set up shop in town, supplying the city's medical pot dispensaries. The measure is expected by some estimates to generate up to $2 million in tax revenue for the cash-strapped city, yet not everyone is celebrating. Only one council member, Nancy Nadell, voted against the ordinance and 2 abstained. In a curious dynamic that has been playing out since Oakland first began mulling whether to allow pot factories within city limits, a number of small-time growers strongly opposed the measure, arguing it would drive down the price of weed. Now, don't get too excited, folks, because the permits for these large-scale operations won't be issued until January 2011. But they're arguing it's going to drive down the price and dilute its quality. Set against those silly criticisms were concerns that small-time grow operations, quote, have led to public safety hazards, including fires, burglaries, and home invasions, health risks to patients, and related response costs to the city, according to a report from council members Larry Reed and Rebecca Kaplan. One study commissioned by AgriMed, a company that wants to develop one of the pot warehouses, also estimated that the law will create 350 union jobs. This does, of course, all sound well and good. One commenter, I believe, on the New World Next Week YouTube mentioned that, these public safety hazards that occur are mostly thanks to the thugs busting down the doors on the wrong houses and terrorizing people for what essentially is a plant. And again, we're going to get further into this after the clip that's really going to get into it. Of course, this new guy, Dylan Radigan, seems to be a great new truth teller. And again, we see these folks pop up in the corporate-controlled mainstream media, and they do report good things, and they kind of lead you along. But again, we're not playing follow the leader on any level here. That's why we use the open source intelligence to pick and choose, to make better choices, to not fall in lockstep behind anything. And don't take what I say for gospel. I've laid it all out on the website. You can check it out. The thugs cause the public safety hazards. And of course, Oakland being the city that just had riots after another murdering cop just got manslaughter. And of course, they're now not going to respond to any sorts of crime. So all these things are going on in Oakland, swirling around these new pot factories.